The chronological Bible reading for May 19th is 2 Samuel chapters 19 through 21. Does your heart break for David as he cries out repeatedly day and night, "Oh, Absalom, Absalom, my son, Absalom"? Can you hear his heart break? And do you sympathize with him, or are you judgmental toward him as Joab was, wondering, "David, when will you pull it together? Do you not understand how your words and your mourning, how your actions are affecting the men who risked their lives to save yours?" David had attempted to hamstring his own army, saying, "Don't harm Absalom, who is the king who seeks your lives." Sometimes we all need a Joab in our lives to wake us up to see things from a different perspective. Joab certainly was not perfect, but I admire his bravery and his boldness as he went to David and said, "You've made a mockery of these men. You've shamed them. These men who saved your life and the lives of your wives and of your sons. You've put them to shame by mourning and wailing for the one who was seeking your life." These men went home after having won in battle, silently, shamefully, as if they had lost, as if they had fled from their enemies. Later in chapter 19, David assigns Amasa as a general over his army. Amasa had been a general to Absalom. He had been one who had defected to David's enemy in civil war. Was this a wise move from David as he tried to unite the kingdom? Or was it a mistake? Was it a slap in the face intentionally to Joab? Now, whether Joab was acting out of self-defense and preserving himself, or doing what he thought was best for the kingdom, or perhaps both, when he killed Amasa, once again we see David not taking a stand against Joab. Did he believe that Joab had done the right thing? One of David's last commands to his son Solomon in his dying days in 1 Kings is to make sure that Joab pays for settling a wartime debt during a time of peace. Who do you think was right? Was it Joab for taking the life of Amasa, who had been loyal to Absalom? Or was it David for trying to unite the kingdom, perhaps? We're also given some conflicting information here about Mephibosheth. Previously, we read that Ziba told David that Mephibosheth had defected to Absalom, hoping that he would get his grandfather Saul's kingdom back. But here, Mephibosheth says Ziba betrayed him. Perhaps David doesn't know which is right. Perhaps David is again trying to preserve unity, and he says to split the inheritance between Ziba and Mephibosheth. One of them must have been lying. Did David do the right thing, do you think? We also see Shimei coming back, prostrating himself before the returning King David. The one who had cursed David, who had thrown stones at him, the one who had said, "You're finally getting what you deserve, you man of bloodshed." Shimei accused David of being a man of bloodshed and saying, "The things that you have done are coming back. You are reaping what you've sown." But now, as he sees David returning victorious, he begs for forgiveness. And it appears in these chapters, chapter 19 specifically, that David does forgive him. But again, as we will read later in 1 Kings, David tells Solomon, his son, watch out for Shimei. You can't trust him. Isn't it interesting how there's so much more to these stories that isn't recorded for us, at least not in the canonical Bible? In chapter 20, another man rises up and tries to steal the throne from David, this Shimei, son of Beitri. Is this just another test? Is it the same test? Did David not pass with flying colors last time? Joab pursues this man, traps him in a city, and as they are trying to break through the wall to get him, a wise old woman reasons with Joab and agrees to send over the head of this defector. And by purging the evil man from within their city, they bring about peace, and no doubt the preservation of the city and many, many lives. In chapter 21, we read about the famine for 3 years in the land, and David seeks Yahweh and finds out because of a promise that Saul broke, God is holding judgment against the land. It makes me wonder if there's a famine in my own life, maybe in my business or in my health. Is it something I did, or was there a promise broken even by one of my predecessors? Something we should prayerfully consider. God included this story for us for a reason. What is inhibiting your success? Why is there a famine? Something we should all prayerfully consider, no doubt. Chapter 21 ends with another series of references to the Rephaim, the giants in the land, the Philistines, the descendants of the Nephilim. There is a great teacher and researcher by the name of L.A. Marzulli who has done a lot of great work uncovering the artifacts and the history of what these giant people have done in the past. And a lot of it's been hidden from us there is a great researcher by the name of L.A. Marzulli who has done tremendous work researching these peoples of the past. And I've spoken with him about an interview. Would you let me know if that's something that you are interested in? Just leave a comment if that's something you would like to learn more about. And if so, I'll see if we can't get that scheduled sometime soon. Thank you, my friends, for being on this journey with me through the Word of God in 2024. We'll see you tomorrow. And some of you we will see live on Sunday mornings. Details on that are available at BibleInOrder.com.